Hi, we're in the vault now. We're in a very nice portion of the vault. This is where we keep the incunable collection, the 15th century books. And you'll notice they don't look as romantic as they looked before we put them in these boxes. This is a new program. Put them in acid-free boxes, create a kind of microclimate for them, I guess you could say, and certainly protect them from any mold, dust that might fall on them. This is a recent acquisition by John Heywood. Heywood is a Elizabethan author. Lived from 1497 to 1580. Wow. Huh. All right, so he's a true Elizabethan and a Henrican as well. So he's an important author. He wrote this text called The Spider and the Fly, which is a religious poem, but not in the sense of devotion. It is commenting upon the religious questions of the day, which are many after 1535 when Henry breaks with the church. So we have, is it Catholics as spiders and Protestants as flies, in a allegorical poem, which is in part humorous and highly illustrated. I mean, look at this beautiful picture right here. See the spider and the fly. There's a spider web with a fly caught in it. This is nice because it has a portrait of John Heywood in it, and highly illustrated and very well printed. Bugs are big in Elizabethan England. There's a very famous book on bees, the monarchy of bees, which is in fact talking about the female monarchy in Queen Elizabeth. But anyway, a highly illustrated, well-printed English book. You don't get so many well-printed English books in this period. So we saw that at an auction at Bloomsbury Auctions in New York. And so you see the item description. Let's look at the item description. We keep an item folder for every book we buy. This is new too. But this stuff would usually be kind of crammed in the book, the auction record or the book dealer's notice and what you paid for it and letters from Lady Hawthorne or whatever. We take those out of the book and we put them in an acid-free item folder, which we store somewhere else, far from the books themselves, because if these were to go up in flames, we'd still know what we had, or if it was to be stolen, we'd know what it was. So we found it in an auction catalog, and they describe it. You have to learn how to read these things for condition and so on, but you can always get more information from the auction house as you're trying to decide. But we saw it, we thought, well, that rings a bell. Oh yeah, we have something else in the collection that's related to the spider and the fly. In fact, what we had was John Mitford, 19th century scholar of Elizabethan England, who had taken notes on the spider and the fly. We had this manuscript that people have come to study. We thought, the Spider and the Fly, John Heywood, Elizabethan, we've got many other books by John Heywood, but not this one. We've got that manuscript that relates to this particular text in this edition. Let's consider this. So we look at it. It gives the range of what it's going to go for, $6,000 to $9,000 at Bloomsbury on whatever date the auction was. This was last April. So we said, yeah, we want to go for that. We don't have it. We checked the Forsyth, the STC number. We looked all over the place, because remember, we have uncatalogued books in the collection. But we did our darndest and looked all over the place and convinced ourselves that we didn't own it. So we went to auction and we won. We just bid. We bid by telephone here, or we just put it, we trust them. We give them our highest bid and they would just keep going until we get up there. You can do that with auction houses that you trust. We might have been on the phone for this one, though we trust Bloomsbury. And we won. So we got the Spider and the Fly. It came in. We created an item folder. It got one of these new alphanumeric numbers. It was cataloged. This would not be a hard book to catalog because there are other copies in the world and other people have already cataloged it. So we probably went to the British Library or wherever, but we found the record. We transferred it down. We made whatever emendations are necessary for ours. And as you can see, ours is a very nice copy. I forget what the provenance is, but it's great. So it's the Stephen Sterling Maxwell Bradley Martin silver copy of the first edition. So those are all of the owners who have had it before. So we know the provenance. It's extremely nicely bound. It's a good copy. We're pleased to have it. We got it for a reasonable price, and it was cataloged and added to our collection. What more can we say?